Okay, so I need to shorten this video though, because really it's long. It's about it's 46 seconds and it's a bunch of different butterflies. So I'm just scrolling back and forth so you can see that you have choices. Okay, so you're gonna pick which butterfly that you want, but it should be doing something. Like, see these butterflies? You can you can pick one or the other, just do one. I mean, you could do both if you wanted to, but just pick one and see when I move, when I just slide my slider back and forth a little bit, see how I can make it go back and forth. We are just going to capture one flapping motion. Okay, so there's a bunch of different butterflies on here. Some of them are sitting down, some of them are flying. Okay, so you can scroll through and pick your butterfly. I've done this one a lot because it's kind of in a big area. So I need to cut this film. So in QuickTime, you can trim down the film, and I just want to get like this much flapping up and down because I only need that. I'm just going to have it flying in place, and that's all we're doing. So I need to capture that. So what I need to do is I need to go to Edit Trim in QuickTime Player. And then it gives you this yellow band. And when you grab the little ends, it will go to the place that you want to trim it. So now I want to trim the front end of that right here. So I'm going to find the part where I want it to start. And it is, I think it goes back, yeah, right here. So I want to get that, right? So I'm going to start there. That's going to be the front of my video. And then I'm going to grab the back end. I'm going to slide it all the way back till I get back to that butterfly. And look at how small that increment is there. So I'm just going to get from here, and I'm going to drag the slider till I get a bottom motion. And now I got this tiny little yellow band here, and I just click trim. And now I have a really short video that I can move a lot slower and get just each little motion. It's a lot easier if you trim it down than if you try to do it from the big long video. So this is like, it has music, but look at how short that is. Yeah, it has music. I have the sound off. Okay, so I got the upward and the down. And so now what I need to do is I need to screenshot all of the steps of the flapping. So I'm gonna just make this a little smaller. I'm gonna do my screenshot. So on the Mac, it's Command-Shift-4, gives you that little circle with the lines. And so this is my first position. So if I go away from here and I do press Command-Shift-4, then I have this little, you know, the little circle with the lines, and I go right to the corner of that video. And I just click and drag it from corner to corner. And if I keep doing it right on the corner to corner, then I'm gonna get just this little section, right? And so now I'm gonna move it just a little bit, and I'm gonna do Command-Shift-4. That's my second one. And then I'm gonna move it a little bit more. And Command-Shift-4. And you're gonna probably take about 5 or 6, like 5 to 7 screenshots. You wanna make sure that you get enough movement, enough increments of the movement that it looks smooth, right? So there, Command-Shift-4. So I'm taking a screenshot of just the video section. And then it needs to go down to there, Command-Shift-4. I think that's going to be my last one. Okay, so now I have videos, screenshots of the steps of it going flapping to down. And then I'm just going to reverse it so it flaps up and down when I make my video. So I'm done with that. And then I'm going to look on my desktop, and you will see on your desktop that you have these screenshots. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and they're named in the order that I took them. So right now, if I view by date modified, then it's going to give them to me in the order. So I'm going to put them in my CG1 folder. Okay, so it uploads them. They're really small files, so they don't take very long. So now you see that I have them in my CG1 folder. So I'm ready to open them now in my Creative Cloud virtual labs. I'm gonna just, now that I have all these videos, I don't need this anymore. I'm just gonna I'm gonna bring this out so it's bigger so you can see everything. Okay, so now instead of creating a new file, I'm just gonna go ahead and open the first screenshot I took. So I'm gonna click open. And because I have put these in my folder and I'm viewing them by date modified, this last one is position 6 and this one is position 1. So if I click on the first one, then I choose open and it will open the first image. Okay, so it's making layer 1. I'm going to rename the layer P1 just because I'm lazy and I'm just calling this photo 1. So I'm going to call this P1 and then I am going to add the rest of them. So I go in and to add them, I'm going to import. So file, place embedded. Okay, so I'm going to place the file and it's going to embed it into the Photoshop file. So I'm going to place embedded. And I'm going to pick the second one and place. Now I have to double click to make it set, or I can click the check mark, either one. So that's 1, 2. All right, now I'm going to do that for all of the files. So place embedded, the next one, number 3. Double click it or click the check mark. File, place embedded. I'm on number 4. And then file, place embedded. Oops, it's down here. So I haven't ever done it this way before, but you can also just drag them right on if you're using Creative Cloud and not the Virtual Labs version. Okay, so you know that you can just drag it right on from your desktop. But this is, I'm only showing you in the Virtual Labs because many of you have that. But if you have Creative Cloud, you can just drag them right on. You don't have to place them, but you can still place them from your desktop. And this is the last one, I believe. Right, so I have, so you can kind of see if you got a good one. So there's the first one, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay, and I'm going to name these because 2, I'm going to delete these files after I'm done using them to trace. So I'm just going to name them P 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now I need to make drawing layers. You don't have to do anything with these files because you're not going to really draw on them or anything. So now I got to do my drawings. But I also would like a background. So to just start, I'm going to make a new layer and put that at the bottom. Call it background and drag that to the bottom. And I might just fill it with white for now. And I'm going to hide all these guys and dump some white in there. If you want to make some flowers or anything fancy, if you have time, feel free, but you do not have to get that fancy for this. I just want you to have the experience of rotoscoping. So we're going to start with the first layer and I'm going to make a new layer. So I'm going to make a new layer and I'm going to call that D1. So that's my drawing. So I have P1 and D1. All right. So on my P1, you can make these if you want to. You can make them change the opacity so that you can, as long as you have that white background, you won't see the checkerboard. You can change it if you want to use dark pens or color it anyway. But I'm just going to do it with a really bright color. It always grabs. It's kind of weird. Okay, so on D1, I'm going to just draw a really quick. This is going to be super quick, but you can make yours fancier if you want to, but this is the requirement that I want you to do. So you're going to use a paintbrush and I'm going to change it to 5 pixels and a hardness of 100%. So it's a little sharper, right? Then I'm going to pick a really bright color like magenta. Okay, so I'm picking a bright magenta color And I'm going to just trace each one of these. So I'm just going to do it super fast. And you know what? I should probably zoom in, right? So this is the butterfly area. When you're all done, you can crop it if you want, because it doesn't need to be this big, right? So my butterfly is taking up some small area of all these photos. So when you're all done, you can crop it. So I'm just, for each layer, I'm just tracing the butterfly, and I'm just doing a really quick version so you can see how it works, but you can do it a little neater if you want to. Okay, so there's one. I'm done with one. So I'm going to go to two, unhide it, make a new layer, call it drawing D2. I'm going to trace that real quick. So for each one of these, I'm going to just do a tracing. Now you can see I'm not drawing all the fancy stuff on the butterfly or anything like that. I'm just doing the outline. But you are welcome to make it fancy as you want. But I just am asking for this assignment, the minimum, which will give you 100%, right, for the assignment, is to make drawings that look like this, okay? I'm just tracing the outlines because I want you to see how this works. So I'm done with that one. So now I'm on P3, new layer. Oops, I'm drawing 3. Okay, so now I'm doing my drawing 3 layer. Plus, if I got all fancy, then this would take a lot longer than you have to watch this. I'm just doing really quick so you can see. But you can, you can make smaller brushes, you can do different colors. So there's number 3 on 4. You can also make layers by clicking that little thing down at the bottom. It's kind of hidden. This is D4. I can barely tell what this is, but it really doesn't matter too much, right? I'm just kind of winging it, ha, no pun intended, but I am just making this up because I can't really see exactly what's going on. And when it's moving, as long as it's kind of giving you the general gist of it like this, right? Then that's all that really matters. Because when this is moving, as long as it has the basic stuff, right? Like, what in the world is that? Right? It's the butterfly. So I'm going to hide those layers, going to P5, new layer, call it D5. So now we got the wings almost down to the bottom. I think this is another part right here. Little head, he's got the eyes, but I'm not going to get that detailed. Weird little bug body. Ooh, you could do cicadas. So there I've got number 5 and one more. Call that D6. And that's with the wings all the way down. And I'm just drawing as fast as I can so that you can not have to sit here all day. I do want you to be able to slow this down and watch this and take your time. All right, so now I have all of my parts. So now I'm going to delete all of the photos because I'm done drawing. So if I click on P5 and I press the control key, then I can click on, what did I do there? Oh, I didn't name this right. That was P6. Okay. But I'm gonna select each of the photos only, and I'm gonna leave all my drawings. I'm gonna delete those layers. I don't need them anymore. So now I just have my drawings. And now I can go and do my frame by frame animation. So remember, click create frame animation, then you get the button, so you click that. And now I am going to do what I always done with my other things. I'm gonna create frames from layers, make frames from layers. So now I have, all right, so now it's just flapping down, but it's not smoothly flapping up, and it's a little spazzy, right? So for one thing, I want to show the background so that it doesn't have that checkerboard. So now we see it flapping down, but it's but it's doing that thing where it's flapping down to the bottom, but then it jumps back up. Well, we've got to delete that one, right? Remember, you got to delete that frame. So we can just hit that little trash can. Yes. Okay, so we have it going down, and then when it gets to here, then it jumps back up to the top. But we want it to get down here, and we want it to go smoothly back up. So we want these in between frames. So it's 1, but then we want 2 through 5 to go here and then be reversed, right? So we want it to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for a smooth transition. So I'm going to grab these frames that are in between the first and last. I'm going to use the mini drop down and copy frames. Where is it there? Copy frames. And I'm putting it after number 6. And I'm going to go to paste frames after selection. And now I'm going to take those 3 frames, and they're still highlighted, and I'm going to reverse them so that they go smoothly backwards, reverse frames. All right, so now I have a nice smooth, but it's flapping really fast. If I want it to be slow, I can select all of these and I can drop it down to 0.1. Let's see how that looks. Nice and smooth. It's really kind of a little bit slow, but that's my butterfly gently flying over nothing. Okay, and you can crop it. So look at how much space this is taking up. As long as you know where to go, like this is the big thing, and then when it gets down to the bottom, it's down there. So I'm going to crop my butterfly a little bit because I don't need all that extra space unless you want to draw a bunch of flowers and stuff, but I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to check it. No, it won't let me check it till I crop it. So if I crop it, then it's all in there. Okay, so now it's a much smaller thing and it's surrounding just the butterfly. And then of course you go ahead and you do, first of all, file, save as a Photoshop, right? Save and make it a Photoshop file so you can edit it if you make a mistake rather than having to start over again. If I say, oh, it doesn't look like you went smoothly backwards. Oh, I forgot to do my, reversing the 5, 4, 3, 2, right? And you can go back and fix it. So make sure you save the Photoshop file, but then a few of you have been providing me with PSD files. You don't have to do that. I must get a GIF file. So then you go save for web and then save it as a GIF, okay? And then that's gonna give me the GIF file, all right? So that is how you do it. It's very easy. It's just a little bit of steps, right? So it just takes some steps, but this is a skill that you can use for pretty much any kind of animation that you want to do from a video.